Hi, and welcome to my podcast about one of the great life lessons I learned from my championship game in the fifth grade. So, in the fifth grade, I played on my second year of competitive basketball with one of my friends, Jamel. Jamel and I were pretty good players at the time, and we played on a pretty good team that had a really good season and only lost like one or two games, and then we ended up making it to the playoffs, and we played one of the better teams in the semifinals, and we lost by 15, but the tournament was double elimination, so we weren't out of it. So we had to win again, and then we'd play that team in the championship if we won the other game. So we played another great team in the kind of the losers bracket to get to the championship to see who would play the team we had just lost to. And so we started out a little rough, and we were down 9 into halftime, going into halftime, and then we finally started to come back in the second half, and with about 5 minutes left, we cut the game to 3, and we started to play really well, and just overall we had a really good game, and some players stepped up, and we ended up winning that game by about 11 points. So the only problem was that both of these games happened in the same day. So we had just played that team that beat us by 15, and then just played the other team that we beat by 11 to get to the championship. And so we were already coming off a doubleheader, and now we had to play the championship, our third game in a row, which we thought would be tough for us because we didn't get any rest that day, and we just had to play 3 games back to back to back. And the team that we had played in the semifinals obviously got to rest the second game because they didn't have to play, where we had to play to be able to play them again. So we kind of had a little game plan before starting that game, because I think one of the main reasons we lost was because on the other team they had one of my friends who played on that team. His name was Isaiah, and he was about 6 foot, 250 pounds in fifth grade, which was just absolutely huge compared to anyone on our team. So at this time, I was probably about 5'5", 5'7", 90 pounds. So if I tried to do anything to stop him, he would just absolutely crush me. So we started out the championship game. We started off really well, and we took a early lead, and then after that they started shooting well, and they were just playing super good to get back into it. And then we actually got Isaiah, their best player, the Giant, into foul trouble. In going into halftime, he had 3 fouls, and so you foul out, and you're disqualified from the game once you get 5 fouls. So going into halftime, they made a huge run, and they went up by 5. And so most of the second half, it just kind of stayed the same, where they were up 5, and they put their best player back in, and they started to increase the lead again, and they eventually went up about 15 points with like 5 minutes left. And so then we had Isaiah with 3 fouls then, because we hadn't gotten him another foul. So at this point, I took the ball and went at Isaiah and got him his 4th foul while we were trailing by 15 points. And so when that happened, I made the 2 free throws and cut the deficit to 13. And then on the very next play, Isaiah drove down the lane, and one of our players, Luke, stepped in front and took a charge on him, actually, and drew his 5th foul. So he had fouled out completely with about 4 minutes left in the game, which was good for us because the rest of their team wasn't super strong, but they were still good, so we'd still have to claw our way back. But knowing that their best player was out definitely helped us. So we ended up making a huge run at the end of the game, and we were down 13 with 4 minutes left, and we made a run mostly sparked by Luke fouling out Isaiah, but we cut it down, and with we were down 2 with 20 seconds left, and we wasted a little bit of clock. And then with 7 seconds left, I actually hit a 3 to put us up 1 point, and the other team called timeout to try and save time and get the ball on the other side of the court. So they ended up getting it down the court, but I guarded the player with the ball, and as soon as he went to shoot it, I stripped the ball from him, and he couldn't shoot it, and then I just threw it to the other side of the court, and we won the championship game by 1. And it was definitely crazy because we didn't think we would win, but we did, and so we all were celebrating and chest bumping, and then after that they gave us our trophies, and I got the MVP of the championship game as I finished with 23 points and the game-winning shot, which was awesome. So I think during this definitely taught me a big lesson of never giving up and knowing that you can do it if you just put your mind to it. And so, yeah, I think just never giving up is definitely a good thing, and just persevering no matter the circumstances. So I think that's helped me be the person I am today. Thank you.